Welcome to the Medins. If you're squeamish,
Content.
mute
Viewer-
this next part.
Viewer content advice.
Yeah. It's explicit, but only because it's disgusting.
It's now PG-13.
Yeah. I don't know how to deal with poop. Whoa. Product placement. Whoa. And then you leave, and then you find out you were also the one who contributed all the noise. Hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of Welcome to Medins. I was able to pull one of the family members in, Daniel.
Hello.
There you go. And we have seen him before, so it's not meeting anyone new. But I'm really happy because there was something I want to be able to cover, which I had announced in the last episode, which is you and Brianna had a beautiful little baby boy, handsome little baby boy.
Yep.
But there's more than just that. I'd love to just hear what's been going on in your guys' lives. You know, update people in terms of what is going on in the youngest Medin family.
Well, it's hard to talk about myself. I don't do it very often, so.
But everyone says that people love to talk about themselves.
It's super hard. I don't really.
That is true.
I'll just start telling people a bunch of nerdy stuff that's not even about me. Like talking, not necessarily about myself. But yeah, we had a little baby boy, and our daughter Olivia was super excited. She's been watching all her cousins run around, each of them having many siblings very quickly.
Yes, a very fruitful bunch.
And it was like, man, I can't wait till Olivia can have a sibling, and then she finally is able to have one now. And there was an adjustment period. I mean, she started to realize that mommy and daddy's attention wasn't able to 100% be on her all the time anymore. And she switched from being a mama's girl to being a daddy's girl, which was, I mean,
is something.
I preferred that switch. I like that she sees me as the person to hang out with now, while her mom takes care of Josiah. But she absolutely loves Josiah now. I mean, she loved him when he was born, but now we're not having so many of those like defiant issues where she's feeling left out. She's not feeling that.
That's good.
So, and she'll snuggle with him. She'll play with him. She'll want to hold him. He won't want to be held. She's like, "Can I hold him?" We're like, "Sure." We'll put him on her lap, and then all of a sudden he'll be like.
What's funny is you guys need to see his face. He just sits there the grand majority of the time like.
Yeah, his face is normally like. But
usually with his mouth open a little bit, which is entertaining. He just looks like he's constantly like a food coma. Just eyes kind of a little bit milk glazed over and just waiting for something interesting to happen until I guess his sister holds him, and then all of a sudden that goes away. There goes relaxed baby real quick.
That's somewhat true, yes. But they have fun together. They'll take baths together and make each other laugh. I remember the last bath, they were just, Olivia was splashing with water, and he was happy little baby, smiling a bunch. He's getting to be more vocal now.
He was talking to me a little bit earlier. I didn't understand a word he was saying, but I imagine it had something to do with foods, and probably maybe the mess that was in his diaper too.
Oh, probably. You heard that? It was very, very liquidy.
Which I'm sure you wanted to hear. You know, we're dads with young kids, and so like when our wives aren't around, we have to change the poop. Which really for me, when I became a dad, that was like any poop diaper. And I wasn't the greatest husband at the time. I was like, any poop diaper, Michaela has to take care of because I just can't deal with poop. And then when I had to start doing it, I was wearing masks before wearing masks was cool during COVID because I don't know, baby poop is just such a nasty scent and it was just so hard for me to deal with. I had a mask, and then I even had like safety goggles on.
Oh my gosh.
because
Whole
I
operation.
don't know how to deal with poop. I've never done it before. That just seems like something a mom understands. But now when it comes to messes, I'm the one who deals with all the poop and all the vomit, and I even just had to deal with some pee today. So I've dealt with, and then when the kids have like ouchies that bleed, I'm also responsible for that because Michaela started getting to the point of like getting lightheaded and faint now when she sees blood. So I deal with all bodily fluids, snot and all.
Oh,
And I went from like one side of the spectrum, just like, no way, heaven, hell, or earth am I touching that, to now it's just like, oh, there's some puke right there. Take my shirt off, clean it up, put that in the laundry, and then I'm off to do the rest of my
and
day.
then Michaela comes in the room with your shirt off. She's like, "Woo!"
Yes, hence baby number 5. But we aren't going to get into that technicality. We're talking about Daniel right now.
Anyway, yeah, he's been more vocal. I've been teaching him how to box a little bit. I think the thing he loves most about hanging out with me is when he's laying there. I'll take his hands and I'll just go, and then he'll go into the and then we'll just do a machine gun where I'll start to like shake his body, making sure his head is still. Okay.
Yeah, we are very well practiced.
We are very well practiced. But he really enjoys it, and now getting used to. So I'm good with bodily fluids. I have kind of been more like, Brianna, you should change his diaper when he's got poop. I can do the pee and everything, but the thing that freaked me out for a little bit was the idea of, so I was very used to changing Olivia's diaper, but then having to go to a boy.
It is very different.
It's very different, and I've always been concerned about the pee flow. And somehow
you get peed on. It's a matter of fact.
I've actually been I have successfully avoided getting peed on.
So I said that one time too, and I was very proud of the fact I had not gotten pooped on or peed on, which are things that happened to my wife on multiple occasions.
I got pooped on several times by Olivia when she was a baby,
and I was trying to educate someone on how to avoid getting peed on by a boy. And so I'm, perfectly timing, having changed one of my buddy's diapers back when he was little. And I'm like, all right, so what you got to do is you just you inspect, you put it back on, you get your wipe ready. And so I went to take the diaper off of the cover, uncover the diaper. And as I'm looking over and explaining my process of avoiding getting peed on, all of a sudden my hands started to feel very warm. I was like, oh no, and destroyed my reputation forever. But I think that is the only time I've been peed on.
I have been pooped on and peed on and puked on all by Olivia. I remember in our townhome in Winona, we had to take her temp, but not the fun way.
Oh.
And that...
Anyone needs tips.
That unclogged something, I tell you. The moment that thing came out, there was a line of poop that just went straight up my arm, shot across the room, and I was just like, Brianna, I need your help.
Which I'm sure that's the topic you guys want to cover, but like for some odd reason, to me, getting pooped on is nasty. Like it's just
spit I can't handle.
But
that's nasty.
If I am in control and I have to clean the poop off of something, it's not so bad because I chose it. I came to that poop on my own terms and was not violated by the poop.
Sounds like I'm getting pooped on today.
No, because I do not want to get pooped on. But if a kid poops on me, it is... I just feel like I would cry. Like it'd be all emotional walls are broken, and now I go from being a strong man to being a little baby because I got pooped on. So I try to avoid that at all costs. But then if poop is just in a potty or on the floor, it's just like, clean it up. I just don't want to get pooped on.
Spit I can't handle. I can handle getting pooped on. I can handle getting peed and spat up on, but drool, I can't. I don't want to. It's slimy. It's disgusting.
Drool is quite slimy. I don't know what it is.
I'm not good
Fluids
with
in
slime.
babies is somehow like glue, and it's like the worst version of whatever you could think of, and how it feels, how it sticks. You know, when you spread your fingers apart, and then there's just that thin line that's created, and
Yep.
and then it
I will
just keeps
wipe that off as
going, and like
fast as
all
I
the
can.
wrong creases. And you're just like, soap's not helping.
It's spreading it.
Before you know it, you're pouring boiling water on your hands just to get your kid's spit off. Yeah, spit is pretty gross, but which is weird considering like what vomit is. Like I said, I'm the one who deals with that with my little family,
I can handle that. Yeah.
and that's super easy. Which brings me to hopefully a quick story. So I don't think I covered this in last season, but this is when I discovered I was the one responsible for puke. My wife and I went on a vacation with her side of the family up north, and it's a vacation we go on every year. Every year, no one gets sick. This year, everyone got sick. Everybody. Thankfully, except for me and Mikola. Like our stomachs were a little sensitive, but we didn't get sick. But it was getting like midway. No, it was like a day before the whole thing was over, and we put our kids to bed, and we're like, okay, we made it through vacation. No one got sick. This is great. We're gonna go home tomorrow, and that's the end of it. Well, it was only the beginning. We put our kids to bed, and we have our twin boys and their little sister Chloe stay in the same bed because they all like just sleeping in the same bed together, and it works economically. So it's an efficient method for sleeping. We put them all to sleep. My wife and I finally sit down to relax because we've been watching little kids all day long, you know, entertaining people, and now it's like here's us time. We sit down. All of a sudden, we start hearing screaming from the room. I'm like this is. I hope they didn't. Like they know how I feel when it comes to fighting with each other. I open the door and I'm met with this awful whiff of stomach acids in combination with everything else they ate. So maybe I should put like if you're squeamish,
content
mute this next part.
Viewer content advice.
Yeah. It's explicit, but only because it's disgusting. Not
it's now PG-13.
Yeah. Met with this awful sound. I look, and they're on all white sheets.
No.
The color we all dread. I won't say it because it does start getting. You're able to paint a very accurate picture in your mind. There it is, and Chloe is just bawling her eyes out, like her whole stomach was emptied on the bed, and then. So I'm starting to sort this out. I move Chloe. I start grabbing like the pillow and her blanket and her stuffies and stuff. I'm getting this stuff. All of a sudden, I hear more crying.
Oh, no.
I come back in the room, and Andrew threw up on the bed too. And it was like, oh, well, I'm already in this far, and I'm gonna start cleaning up his stuff. And then Jamie threw up, and it was just this disaster. And so they're all screaming because, of course, we all know throwing up is awful.
It sucks.
It blows. It's one of the worst feelings ever.
It does blow.
And I'm like, okay, so now you've taken all the kids off the bed. We have all of them gathered around like the couch, all on towels. We have all of our beach towels from the week. We have the towels from the cabin, using every single free cloth that we can use to clean stuff up and make sure that nothing out in the living room gets puked on. And I'm going in and I'm taking all these sheets off. All these white sheets are no longer white, and all their blankies and their stuffies. And I'm in the bathroom, and like the tub is filled. Where are you gonna bring all this stuff out? tell them, like, okay, got everyone situated.
This wasn't at your parents, at Mikhail's parents' house.
No, this isn't a cabin.
Oh, okay.
There's another off story about that, but I won't tell you this one. Anyway, so now the bathtub is loaded with pukey stuff, and there's puke everywhere, and then there's like puke in some things, but not puke in some other things. You're having to discern what all am I gonna, what can I touch? How was all this gonna go? I had some slippers that I was wearing on that trip that I ended up throwing away because I was having to walk in all the pukey space with it. And anyway, I spent like the next hour plus rinsing out and like wringing out and rinsing and wringing and rinsing and wringing and working to get rid of all the stuff. Finally emptied the bathtub, and of course, I laid everything outside. It was nice outside. Laid everything out to dry out, and come back in. Of course, there's the results. Machine? No, we didn't have it. It was just this little like tiny house cabin thing on a lake that most people just use for fishing. So
I don't know if I'd be able to handle that. Good job.
Well, thank you. I came back and it's all still in the tub. So I got to clean it out too. I cleaned it out. And my wife is like very sweetly snuggling our kid, but just. I'm like, oh. So the night goes through, barely got any sleep. Pack up the kids. All the puking was done.
Thank goodness.
Well, except for Chloe, like she had kind of puke up water and stuff. She puked in the car a couple of times on the 3-hour ride home. But anyway, we get home, we get all situated. My in-laws got a call from the camp management saying, "Did you know what happened in this cabin and this cabin? All of the sheets were destroyed." And they're like, "We're gonna have to charge you is like a couple grand for this." Because it's bedding, and then on top of that there's towels and there's all this other stuff.
Or just stained.
No, like they wouldn't be able to use it anymore. So
That's
it's like
true.
destroyed. It's kind of labeled useless. And I'm like, oh no, because one of the cabins that they mentioned was our cabin. And I was like, oh no, like I didn't clean well enough. So then I called up the campground to apologize profusely because I felt so bad. And said I just I tried so hard to clean everything out, rinse it all out, and I'm sorry for the end result. How much is it going to cost? And they're like, well, you know what, we're just finishing up the load of stuff from your cabin. I'll let you know once we're done. I'll call you back. So they called me back. They said, no, you're good actually because of your quick action with it and being so thorough in the cleaning process. You're good. It's not going to cost you a thing.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like, oh,
Straightforward.
That was the trip I discovered I am responsible for all the puking.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like into the deep end.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's never want to do it again.
We took a trip to our cousin Dawson and his family. Brian and I took a trip, and this was before, like way before Josiah, my son, and we were going to have like a grand old time hanging out with them and their kid, and we got there, and I'm pretty sure this was due to some like food poisoning from a gas station. I won't name the gas station because I like the gas station still. But we got there. We were having a great time that day, and the next day it was Sunday. We went to their church, had a great time. Then we were going to go to an escape room, and on our way to
those are never tempting to me.
I like the brain challenge. I was tempted, and so we were on our way there, and we had just dropped off their kid with his grandparents, and we had to bring Olivia with us, which was fine. And she started crying like a whole lot in the car. We had no idea what was going on, and this was in Dawson's car. Dawson's very, very nice.
Sorry, car. Dawson.
Yeah, sorry, Dawson. Dawson's a very nice car, like the nice car where the camera gives you a bird's eye view of the car and everything around it. that nice of a car.
He's in programming. He can afford it.
He's in, yeah. And all of a sudden we hear from her, and she just
Every
projectile
hates
over
hearing
the
that
car,
sound.
projectile in the car, and like, and I was feeling a little off myself, but like, wasn't until she started going on the whole throw up in her car seat, or in the car seat we were borrowing. And so we rush back home, and also it's like, I don't feel good either. And that weekend turned from a weekend of like having like fun and going out places to Daniel and Brianna, or Daniel and Olivia, both have the stomach like that bug. Um, Olivia's being like snuggled by her mom with all of the like towels that they had. I'm walking back and forth between the couch and the bathroom while we're watching a TV show the whole day. And we're just like, we're so sorry, Dawson. We didn't come here for you guys to take care of us. We came here to have fun. They're like, no, it's okay. And we're like, but I feel so bad.
Welcome to the Medins.
That was, I think, the first time that we had like that whole issue, minus New Year's of what was it, like 2022.
Yeah. So one of the quick downsides, and there's many more upsides to living in a big house with your family.
There's so many upsides.
There are so many upsides, but one of the downsides is when someone gets sick. you start praying and repenting or whatever in the world you need to, that you be saved from whatever potential bug may try to rip its way through the house.
Which I think we figured out, like after a while we figured out what the spiritual issue was of people constantly getting sick, and we dealt with it. And
yeah,
if someone gets sick,
it's still like a scary thing.
Yeah.
And in the midst of,
but it brought that New Year's Day brought everybody so close,
so
together.
Unnecessarily close. And
everybody was just like so much more of the I feel your pain rather than being separate.
You're feeling your own pain. You're helping someone else deal with their pain.
And there were 2 people out of the entire household that did not get affected by that. Brianna and Tyler.
And you want to know what they probably used to keep from that?
Prayer. I don't know.
Prayer and soap.
Whoa!
Product placement. Whoa! This was not with us that day. But if you are in need of some great soap or some fantastic deodorant, by the way, they actually have full-size deodorant and they have full-size soap bars. Yeah, sure. Here you go. Check out Humble. They're naturally made, and they have some really interesting scents. Here I have lavender and holy basil.
Holy basil?
Holy basil. If someone wants to explain to me how that works,
boil the hell out of it.
One solution. And then wash your mouth out with soap afterward with star anise and palmarosa. And then when you start sweating, because you just said that, use some. I'm sweating right now. I should probably use this. The sweet orange and cinnamon. I'm gonna take it. Oh, that's really nice. That's really classy.
I wasn't swearing. I was talking about the actual place. Okay.
Anyway, check them out. They also have lip balm. I love their stuff.
That smells good.
I'm a rather stinky individual myself, so I have to use a lot of this. And when I do, the stink does go away. So if you want some natural, reasonably priced, and maybe you're on the road a lot, check out Humble. And then if you use our code in the description, you'll get an extra percentage off. And then that also helps support the Welcome to Medins page. Mm-hmm. So for all of your future deodorant and soap and lip balm needs, I'm going to hold it up one more time. Humble. Check them out. We're close here to the end, Dan, and we did not plan to talk about bodily functions and sickness this whole time. But how are you and Brianna feeling going from a family of 3 to 4?
It's really nice.
You guys are equally matched now in number of children. Next one, you'll be outnumbered.
Yeah, well, we can handle that.
Sure, you got plenty of practice.
Yes, and see, that's the nice thing about living with a bunch of family members is that
Upside.
upside, yeah, is
Not a
that
sponsor.
okay?
The app, Upside. Never mind.
Is that the gas app?
Yeah.
Okay.
They also do restaurants and stuff too. Check them out. We aren't getting any money for this, so it's a free one.
You're welcome.
You can sponsor us later.
Anyway, so you get to learn like a lot from, you know, other wise people like yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you get to so the plus side is that you get a lot of good advice from people that you trust. Um, so that's definitely like I like I like that we moved from Winona to here. I was super happy to move away from Winona, just because it's 2 hours away from everybody, and I hated it. That's a long drive, and so we get to be here. We get to ask for advice. We get to be given advice sometimes. Um, it's honestly it's an honor to be able to learn from each other, and not only that, but have our kids grow up together. Like our cousins live across the states, so we don't see them very often. It tends to be like a year or two until we ever get to see them again.
When we do, it's a real treat.
Yeah. But these kiddos, they all get to grow up together. Olivia considered your kids to be her siblings for a long time.
Yes, Olivia and my daughter Chloe play together a lot.
They are close,
very close.
And then Olivia, Chloe, and Addie all got like their small like girl group,
little girly group.
Yeah, and it's super fun. So it's not like going to your guys' house when she didn't have a sibling, and then us leaving and her being like, "Why don't I have a sibling yet? It's so boring." It's like I have siblings. I have these siblings until I get actual siblings, and so it's really fun. Plus, when everyone leaves, it's like when you guys go to do your own things, it's kind of like, wow, this house is so quiet. I hate it. I hate how quiet it is.
Yes, your threshold for quietness changes immensely.
Yeah.
One person leaves, and you're like, oh my gosh, they were the ones who contributed all the noise, and then you leave, and then you find out you were also the one who contributed all the noise.
And I work from home, so I hear this. We have rules for if they run through the area that I'm working, but to keep quiet. But it's like I'll work and I love my work. I love it. Quiet is very loud to me, which doesn't totally make sense, but it's kind of deafening in my imagination, like ability to imagine solutions for the problems that I'm going through at work. So the extra noises and everything, just being able to hear people run around and have fun, it's like sweet. I'm like the fact that they are having fun while I'm working also makes me feel like I'm having fun while I'm working.
And you'll get to hear more about that as we go on to future episodes here in season 3 of Welcome to Medins. If you want to keep up, hear more of those stories, hopefully hear less about bodily functions, but see what we're up to. Subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and press the little notification buttons. That way you get notified anytime we release a new episode, and like us on or follow us on Instagram so you can see all of our reels and just kind of the little things that go on here in our lives. We have shorts on YouTube as well, which you can find on our channel. Go check it out, watch past ones, and keep your eye out for future ones. But welcome to Medins. We'll see you next time.